Hello, it's John here, and we're going to go through League One alphabetically, going through the fixtures now that they're out. So we're going to start with Barnsley. So we'll look through August onwards, and we're going to see what sort of class of team they're up against as they go through the year. So we start off with Barnsley versus Mansfield Town, Lincoln Barnsley, Barnsley Northampton, and Crawley Barnsley. So they've got a nice, I would say they would class that as an easy start. I think we would probably say that's a nice gentle start for them. Barnsley Bristol, Stevenage Barnsley, the first time they're going to have something perhaps a little bit more sticky to contend with. Burton Barnsley, Barnsley Stockport, a little bit of an unknown. So again, September, quite easy. Where are the hard clubs? And we come to them quite soon. Barnsley, Wycombe, Huddersfield, Barnsley. Oh, first sticking point. Probably Wycombe could be quite difficult, although it is at home. So Wycombe, Huddersfield, Barnsley, Barnsley, Reading. Another could be difficult this year. Blackpool, Barnsley. Another one could be difficult. Barnsley, Charlton, and then Shrewsbury, Barnsley. So that's actually quite a difficult month. So that's October. So they go through August, September. October is quite difficult. And then we look at November. Barnsley, Rotherham. Okay, Cambridge United, Barnsley. Barnsley, Wigan, another difficult one. It's a short month, November. That's quite a bit of a difficult sticky wicket one. Or they usually win against Rotherham. Wrexham, Barnsley for December. Barnsley, Birmingham. Then Exeter, Barnsley. Barnsley, Leyton Orient. Bolton, Barnsley. And 29th of December, Peterborough, Barnsley. So that's probably a sort of evens mix there. That's not too difficult, but it's not as easy as they could be getting. And then we go into the new year, 2025, with January, and it's Barnsley, Wrexham. So that could be a sticky one. We don't know how they're going to play. Barnsley, Crawley, Northampton, Barnsley, Bristol Rovers, Barnsley, Barnsley, Stevenage, and Wycombe, Barnsley. So we're now going to reverse the fixtures. So not a bad mix. And in the second part of this, it's actually quite a nice mix. So February we've got Barnsley, Burton, Stockport, Barnsley, Huddersfield. So we start getting the hard ones back in. Rotherham, Barnsley. They said they usually win us anyway. Barnsley, Lincoln for March. Charlton, Barnsley, another sticky one. Barnsley, Blackpool, another sticky one. Mansfield, Barnsley. We don't know what they're going to do really. It depends how much more intake of players they get. Barnsley, Cambridge, and Wigan, Barnsley. So you see they're slightly more spaced out, the difficult clubs now in the second half. Barnsley, Exeter for April. Birmingham, Barnsley, ouch. Followed by Barnsley, Bolton. I mean that's a double, isn't it? But then you get Leyton Orient, Barnsley, but then they go straight back into Barnsley, Peterborough. So it's actually quite difficult, but slightly spread out. Barnsley, Shrewsbury. So it's not a bad end to the season. We're going to May for the last game. And Reading, Barnsley. So we don't know how Reading are going to do. We can guess they're going to do quite well without any points deductions. With a new ownership, they'll do quite well. So it's going to be a tough beginning. We've got that chunk of probably 2 months at the beginning that is quite difficult for Barnsley, and I think they're going to have to hit the ground running with the easier games. Let's just call them League One games, the typical League One games at the beginning, which are all going to be quite hard and quite physical. And then they're going to have to get as many points as they can there to be able to carry it through that difficult patch, and then they'll be really proving themselves in the sort of third and fourth months of the campaign. So that's Barnsley. So let's go on to Birmingham City, our newly relegated club. Birmingham City start at home against Reading, so this is a match of the old Championship in the offing, and they then go away to Wycombe versus Birmingham, another Championship match. So this is quite an interesting starter, and there's a few games that I've noticed that where you think this has to have been picked. This can't be random. Um, there's a little bit too much. Yeah, that's interesting. The first two games are quite comical. This is one of them. Two Championship games straight away. So they're going to find that's probably their most difficult point. Birmingham versus Leighton Orient versus Birmingham, Birmingham versus Wigan. So they've got if they had a tough period, that would be probably the tough period that I would select. Exeter Birmingham into September, Birmingham Wrexham, a difficult one. Rotherham Birmingham, followed by Birmingham Peterborough. So they've actually got quite a tough September. October, Birmingham Huddersfield, Charlton Birmingham. They've had a really torrid time to this point, haven't they? I mean, how the hell have they managed to drop those? Birmingham Cambridge, Lincoln Birmingham, Birmingham Bolton, followed by Mansfield Birmingham. So they'd probably be feeling a lot better about that month. Birmingham Northampton, Birmingham Stevenage, Shrewsbury Birmingham. They're starting to feel better now going into December. Birmingham Stockport, Barnsley Birmingham. Okay, drop a tough one in. Birmingham Bristol, Crawley Birmingham, Birmingham Bolton, and Birmingham Blackpool in an ex-championship game. So they finished the year with a sort of ex-championship game. Now they go into January with Stockport Birmingham, Wigan Birmingham. Okay, could be a sticky wicket. Birmingham Leighton Orient, Birmingham Exeter, Wrexham Birmingham. We don't know how they're going to play, and Huddersfield Birmingham. So that end of January is a little bit okay. Excuse me. Are we starting to get some of the tough ones back in now? Are we going to February? Birmingham Rotherham. Yeah, we are. Peterborough Birmingham, Birmingham Charlton, and Reading Birmingham. February is a month to forget. But if they pump some of these tens of millions of pounds into players, it might just be a slight blip in or an increase in performance of the teams they're playing. So we go into March. Birmingham Wycombe, Bolton Birmingham. So I carried on with the tough games, if ever there was one for Birmingham. Birmingham Lincoln. We don't know. They could be a sticky wicket as well. Northampton Birmingham, Stevenage Birmingham, Birmingham Shrewsbury. So March ends, I would say the fans will be a little bit more pleased with the end of March. You go into April where we're starting to get to the end of the year, and it's Bristol Rovers Birmingham, Birmingham Barnsley, Blackpool Birmingham. Oh dear. Then you have a bit of a rest. We have typical League One games: Birmingham Crawley, Burton Birmingham, and Birmingham Mansfield. And we end with Cambridge Birmingham. So they have a nice, I'd say, a nice League One end to the season. So a little bit better end. The first section though is quite. It's almost like they've pushed all those ex-championship clubs right to the very front. It's difficult, isn't it, when you see fixtures lumped together like that, and you think this is supposed to be random. I think not. But it's going to make it very, very interesting at the top of the league, because if ever they're going to lose anything or not win, it'll be at the beginning. And that's going to frustrate the hell out of the fans. And I think they've got to remember, if you're a Birmingham fan, that's probably the toughest opening that you're going to get. It really is. It couldn't have got much harder for you, really. And yeah, and before you say it, I think you will fly the league. But if ever there was a tough section, it would be the front end. The last part of the season is pretty good. I think it's nice and spread out. You've got a couple of blips where you've got two or three ex-championship teams there all together. But on the whole, second half of the season, nice and easy. First half of the season is a couple of months of really tough championship teams, and then a couple of months of League One standard teams. So that's Birmingham City for you. So let's go to our third team. Let's go for Blackpool. As we go down the letters, down the alphabet, it's starting day with Crawley versus Blackpool. And we've got Blackpool Stockport, followed by Cambridge Blackpool and Blackpool Wycombe. Now, I think Blackpool would be quite happy about that. Yeah, I think that's a nice mix, a nice gentle start to the season. Let's see how it mixes into September. Huddersfield Blackpool, okay, their first difficult games. Blackpool Exeter, Charlton Blackpool, perhaps a difficult game there, and Blackpool Burton. So far it's not been too bad a mix. Blackpool Lincoln, unknown of course, they played well at the end of last season. Mansfield Blackpool, Bristol Rovers Blackpool, Blackpool Barnsley. Oh, that's a nice tough one. Peterborough Blackpool, another tough one. Followed by Blackpool Wigan, which I think this year coming up will be quite tough. Does it carry on? No. Leyton Orient Blackpool, typical League One game. Blackpool Northampton, League One game. Ending with a tough one in 23rd of November for Bolton Blackpool. We go into the December period, and it's Shrewsbury Blackpool, Blackpool Rotherham, on the 7th, 14th, Reading Blackpool, and then Blackpool Stevenage, and then Wrexham Blackpool, and ending on 29th with Birmingham Blackpool. So I would say that is, we've got Birmingham, Wrexham, Reading, Rotherham, a couple of League One games apart from that. Yeah, that's quite a tough December. So yeah, Blackpool have got a pretty tough Christmas period. And then you go to January, and we have Blackpool, Shrewsbury, Wycombe, Blackpool, Cambridge. Tough one with Blackpool versus Huddersfield. Exeter Blackpool, Lincoln Blackpool. Again, that is away, so it could be a sticky one. Into February, Blackpool Charlton. Okay, difficult one. 8th of February with Burton Blackpool, Blackpool Mansfield, and Blackpool Crawley. So they might be breathing a bit of a sigh of relief in February, thinking, my God, we've got some League One games to attack. Stockport County Blackpool into March. Blackpool Peterborough, Barnsley Blackpool, Blackpool Leyton Orient, and Northampton Blackpool. And then we go back into the possible toughy ones with Blackpool Bolton. So March is I would say that's a nice mix. And we're going to the end of the year now, so end of the season. Sorry. Blackpool Reading, Rotherham Blackpool, Blackpool Birmingham, Stevenage Blackpool, and we don't. Stevenage could be a tricky one. They finished well, but lost their manager to Rotherham to us, so it could be. I don't know. That could go either way next season. I think Blackpool, Wrexham, and Wigan Blackpool. So they've got a really tough ending to the year in April, and they finished the year with the League One game, I would say, with Blackpool versus Bristol Rovers. So of the three there, I'd probably be happier as the Barnsley fans. I think Blackpool fans will be They're almost like it's almost like the Birmingham schedule. They've got two clumps together, which are quite are going to be quite difficult. One in the beginning half, one in the second half. Whereas Birmingham have most of their difficult period is at the beginning. It's slightly mixed at the end, which is nice. I think that gives the fans a couple of games of nice League One games, and then a tough sort of all out for the championship promotion race to the championship in the second half. So it's I would say of the three there, I would say the toughest would be probably the Birmingham one, because that's right at the beginning, and it's nearly all of the tough games are right in those first 2 months. Followed by probably Barnsley and then Blackpool in those three. So those three games are now done. I'll look those. Please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, and we can do lots more of these, and we can do the whole of League One. And we shall be looking at the next three and upload those. Please do look at them and please comment, and we shall be with you again in video number 2.